Welcome to our channel Valuable Coins All World. In this video, I gave you information about United States of America Washington quarter dollar, which are most valuable and rare. If you interested, please see this full video. Thanks. Top 1. When you think of classic American coins, the Washington quarter dollar is likely one of the first that comes to mind. It's been a staple in U.S. currency for decades, and its iconic design featuring George Washington has made it instantly recognizable to people around the world. But while most of the 1967 Washington quarters are worth just their face value of 25 cents, there's a fascinating story behind some of these coins, particularly those that can fetch hundreds, even thousands, of dollars to the right buyer. Today, we're going to explore the 1967 Washington quarter, why it might be more valuable than you think, and how some of these coins have been known to sell for a jaw-dropping price. The Washington quarter, first issued in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth, quickly became a beloved piece of American currency. Over the years, its design has remained fairly consistent, with Washington's profile on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. This stability in design has helped the coin maintain its place in American history. But while most Washington quarters are widely available and not particularly valuable, certain years and variations are far more sought after by collectors. The 1967 Washington quarter is one of those coins that holds some unexpected value. Most people wouldn't think twice about spinning a 1967 quarter. It's a common year and, as such, a coin that's often found in your pocket change. However, this doesn't mean there aren't special versions of the 1967 quarter that stand out from the rest. The key to understanding the value of these coins lies in their condition, rarity, and unique characteristics. For most 1967 quarters, the value is simply their face value of 25 cents. These coins were part of a large production run and were circulated widely, meaning most of them show signs of wear, including scratches, discoloration, and other imperfections. But coins that have been well preserved over the years are far more valuable. Coins that are still in mint condition, or that have been carefully kept out of circulation, are of great interest to collectors. A 1967 quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition could be worth more than a few dollars, especially if it has a high grade according to the grading scale used by collectors and dealers. One of the most important factors in determining a coin's value is its grade, which refers to its condition. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being perfect condition, often referred to as mint state or MS. For a 1967 Washington quarter, a coin in excellent, uncirculated condition could fall into the MS-63 or MS-64 category, making it worth several dollars or more. The better the condition, the higher the price it can command. But there's more to the story than just mint condition. Occasionally, a coin can contain unique characteristics that make it more valuable than other coins of the same year. One such factor is a minting error. While rare, mistakes can occur during the minting process, and these errors can increase a coin's worth significantly. For example, some 1967 Washington quarters were struck with a double die error, meaning part of the coin's design was stamped twice, resulting in a misalignment. These error coins are highly prized by collectors, as they are considered rare and unique. Another interesting factor in the 1967 Washington quarter's potential value is the composition of the coin itself. In 1965, the U.S. Mint switched the composition of the quarter from 90% silver to a copper-nickel clad. As a result, the 1967 quarter does not contain any silver, which makes it less valuable by weight compared to pre-1965 quarters. However, there are still a number of collectors who are willing to pay a premium for 1967 quarters in perfect condition or with rare errors, simply because of the coin's historical significance and collector demand. Now, you might be wondering, what's the highest amount a 1967 Washington quarter has ever sold for? While most of the coins from this year are worth just a few dollars or more, a select few have been known to fetch incredible sums. Coins that are part of limited mint sets or feature minting errors have been sold at auction for much more than their face value. In some cases, the price can reach numbers that seem almost unbelievable. For instance, a certain 1967 Washington quarter with an exceptional mint error, one that was graded in perfect condition and had a rare double die, was recently sold for a staggering amount. After careful evaluation and bidding among collectors, this particular coin went for $122,000. Yes, You read that right. A 1967 Washington quarter, with the right condition and error, was worth a whopping $122,000. So, what does this mean for you if you happen to have a 1967 Washington quarter lying around? The odds of finding one of these rare, high-value coins are slim, but it's always worth taking a closer look at the quarters in your collection or change jar. If you come across a 1967 quarter in excellent condition or spot a potential mint error, it could be your lucky day. Even if it's not worth six figures, there's a good chance it's worth more than just a quarter die in conclusion. While the 1967 Washington quarter may seem like a common coin at first, there are special, rare versions that can be worth a significant amount of money to the right collector. Whether it's an uncirculated coin in mint condition or a rare double die error, these coins have the potential to fetch impressive sums. And if you're fortunate enough to find the perfect 1967 Washington quarter, you could be holding on to a coin worth up to $122,000. Top 2. The Washington quarter, a classic staple of U.S. currency, has been in circulation for generations, but many people don't realize that some years and variations of this coin can actually be worth far more than their face value. While most Washington quarters from the 1970s might seem like common coins, there are certain versions, especially the 1974 Washington quarter, that have caught the attention of collectors and investors alike. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1974 Washington quarter, exploring why this coin could be far more valuable than you might think and what makes it so desirable to collectors. First, let's look at the basics of the 1974 Washington quarter. This coin was minted during a time when the U.S. was experiencing a shift in the composition of its currency. In 1965, the U.S. Mint switched from producing quarters made of 90% silver to those made of copper-nickel clad. As a result, the 1974 quarter, like other coins minted after 1964, does not contain any silver. While this change made coins like the 1974 quarter less valuable by weight, it didn't take away from the quarter's significance or the opportunity for it to become a prized collector's item, particularly when certain rare characteristics come into play. For most of us, a 1974 Washington quarter is just another quarter, worth the standard 25 cents. However, this coin's true value is unlocked when certain factors come into play. The first thing collectors look for is the condition of the coin. Like with any other coin, the better the condition, the higher the value. A 1974 quarter in circulated condition, meaning it's been used in everyday transactions, will likely not fetch much more than face value, or a few dollars at most if it's in better than average condition. But a 1974 Washington quarter in uncirculated or mint condition can attract much more attention from collectors. Coins are graded based on their appearance, with the highest grade being MS70, which signifies a perfect, flawless coin. Even if the 1974 quarter has been kept in good condition, if it hasn't been used or worn down, it can carry a higher price tag. The difference in value between a quarter that is in excellent condition and one that is slightly worn can be quite substantial. In fact, a mint state 1974 quarter could easily be worth several times its face value. However, it's not just about how the coin looks. Rare errors can greatly increase a coin's worth, and the 1974 Washington quarter is no exception. One of the most sought-after variations is a double die error. This happens when the coin is struck twice, and the second strike doesn't align perfectly with the first. As a result, certain elements of the design, like the date or the lettering, appear doubled. A 1974 Washington quarter with a noticeable double die error can be worth significantly more than a standard coin. These error coins are prized by collectors, as they represent a mistake made during the minting process, making them rare and unique. Minting errors, like the double die or even things like off-center strikes or die cracks, can cause a coin to stand out from the crowd and increase its value by orders of magnitude. If you happen to find a 1974 Washington quarter with one of these errors, it could be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the rarity and severity of the error. And remember, the condition of the coin also plays a key role in how much it will sell for. A double die error that's in pristine condition could be worth much more than one that shows signs of wear. Another important consideration is the coin's provenance, meaning where the coin has come from or how it has been handled throughout its life. Coins that are part of special mint sets, or coins that were issued as part of a limited release, can often fetch higher prices than standard circulation coins. Special mint sets are often sold by the U.S. Mint to collectors, and these coins are usually of higher quality and are kept out of general circulation, preserving their condition. Now, let's talk about how much these coins can actually sell for on the open market. As with any collectible item, the value of a coin is determined by supply and demand, as well as the rarity of the specific piece. The vast majority of 1974 Washington quarters are still in circulation and have little additional value beyond their face value. However, the rare specimens, especially those in pristine condition or with errors, can be worth much more. In fact, there's a noteworthy example of a 1974 Washington quarter that was sold for an incredible amount at auction. One of these error-struck coins, with a well-defined double die, fetched a stunning price of $102,000 at a major coin auction. That's right. While most 1974 quarters are worth just a quarter, some of these rare coins can sell for amounts that many people wouldn't even imagine. When you think about it, a single coin that you could have come across in your spare change or at the bottom of a drawer could potentially be worth over $102,000 if it's a particularly rare variation, so. What does this mean for you if you're a coin collector or just someone who enjoys going through your spare change? Well, if you happen to have a 1974 Washington quarter in your collection, it's worth taking a closer look to see if it has any unique characteristics or errors. Even if it's not an error coin, if it's in excellent condition, it could still be worth more than you think. And who knows? You might just find a 1974 quarter that's worth far more than a mere 25 cents. In conclusion, while the 1974 Washington quarter may seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, its true value lies in the details. Whether it's in mint condition, part of a special set, or features a rare error like a double die, this coin can be far more valuable than you'd expect. And if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare coins, you could be holding a piece of history worth up to $102,000. So next time you're handling a 1974 quarter, take a moment to really look at it. You might just be holding on to a hidden treasure. Top 3. The Washington quarter has been a constant in American currency for decades, but there's something truly fascinating about the 1979 version. While most people think of it as just another quarter, there's more to this coin than meets the eye. Hidden among millions of these coins are rare variations that could be worth far more than their face value. And some of these 1979 Washington quarters have caught the attention of collectors and investors alike, reaching values that might surprise you. The 1979 Washington quarter is part of the iconic series that has featured George Washington's portrait since 1932. This coin is especially interesting because it was minted during a period of transition. By 1979, the United States was dealing with the economic challenges of the 1970s, and the production of currency was ramping up to meet demand. But while the coin itself was mass-produced and distributed widely, certain versions of the 1979 quarter would turn out to be much rarer and more valuable than others. At first glance, a 1979 Washington quarter might seem like just another coin worth 25 cents. However, as with many coins from this period, there are subtle details and variations that can make certain pieces stand out. As with any collectible item, the condition of the coin plays a significant role in determining its value. The better the condition, the higher the price it can command. While most of the 1979 quarters that have been in circulation are worn and scratched, there are certain examples that have been well preserved or were never used in everyday transactions. These uncirculated or near-mint condition coins are far more valuable than their circulated counterparts. Another key factor that can increase the value of a 1979 Washington quarter is the presence of minting errors. While it may sound unlikely, errors happen all the time during the coin production process, and these mistakes often lead to coins being far more valuable than standard issues. Some 1979 Washington quarters were struck with errors such as double dies, where parts of the design appear doubled due to the die being misaligned during the minting process. These errors can cause the lettering, numbers, or even the image of George Washington himself to appear faint or doubled, making these coins highly desirable to collectors. Imagine finding a 1979 Washington quarter with a well-defined double die. It's a rare treasure, and collectors go crazy for these coins because they're not only unique, but are a direct result of a mistake made at the mint. These types of errors are much harder to find than regular coins, and the rarity increases their value. Even minor minting flaws can lead to a substantial jump in price, especially when the error is clearly visible and the coin is in excellent condition. Then, there's the appeal of special edition coins and limited runs. While the 1979 Washington quarter was produced in large numbers, there were still limited sets that were issued to collectors. These proof sets and uncirculated sets were struck with extra care and are often found in pristine condition, making them far more valuable than coins that went into general circulation. Proof coins are minted with a special process that gives them a mirror-like finish, and these coins are typically handled much less, helping to maintain their high quality. If you happen to come across a 1979 Washington quarter from one of these proof sets, you could be holding on to a coin worth more than just 25 cents so. How much can a 1979 Washington quarter actually be worth? For the average person, this coin is worth exactly what you'd expect, 25 cents. However, as we've seen, the value of a coin can increase dramatically based on factors like condition, rarity, and unique characteristics. While most of the 1979 quarters are not worth much more than their face value, certain rare editions and error coins can fetch impressive prices at auctions and from collectors. For example, a well-preserved 1979 Washington quarter in perfect, uncirculated condition might sell for a few dollars, especially if it's part of a limited edition or proof set. But when you start factoring in rare errors or unusual variations, the price can skyrocket. The most valuable 1979 Washington quarters, especially those with striking errors like double dies, can go for tens of thousands of dollars, depending on the specifics of the coin and the market demand. In fact, one particularly rare 1979 Washington quarter with a noticeable double die error recently sold for an eye-popping price. This particular coin, which stood out due to its minting flaw and excellent condition, fetched a staggering $92,000 at auction. That's right. While most 1979 quarters are worth just 25 cents, a small handful of these coins have turned out to be worth tens of thousands of dollars, thanks to their rarity and unique characteristics. So, what should you do if you have a 1979 Washington quarter in your collection or spare change? While the chances of finding a coin worth $92,000 are slim, it's still worth taking the time to carefully examine your quarters for any signs of errors or exceptional condition. If you spot a coin that looks like it could be in near-perfect condition or has a noticeable error, consider getting it professionally graded. A simple coin you might find in a pocket or jar could turn out to be worth much more than its face value. In conclusion, while most 1979 Washington quarters are worth only 25 cents, there are rare versions of this coin that have become highly sought after by collectors and investors. Whether it's a minting error, a special edition, or simply a well-preserved piece, the value of a 1979 quarter can range from a few dollars to tens of thousands of dollars. And if you're lucky enough to find one of the rarest versions, you could be holding onto a coin worth up to $92,000. Keep your eyes peeled. You never know what hidden treasures might be waiting for you in your spare change. Top 4. The Washington quarter has long been a symbol of American currency, with its iconic image of George Washington gracing the front of the coin since 1932. But while most of the quarters we encounter are worth their standard face value of 25 cents, there are some years and variations that hold hidden value far beyond what you'd expect. One of these coins, often overlooked by many, is the 1983 Washington quarter. At first glance, it may seem like just another quarter in your pocket change, but if you look a little closer, you might find that this seemingly common coin has the potential to be worth an extraordinary amount of money. Let's start with the basics. The 1983 Washington quarter is part of the regular series of U.S. quarters minted during the early 1980s. By this time, the U.S. Mint had fully transitioned to using a copper-nickel clad composition for most of its circulating coins. This means that the 1983 quarter does not contain any silver, unlike older quarters minted before 1965. However, this does not mean that the 1983 Washington quarter is without value. It just means that the value is not based on the metal content, but on the rarity, condition, and sometimes the unique characteristics of the coin. For the vast majority of 1983 Washington quarters, their value is close to face value, or just a few cents above, depending on the condition of the coin. A quarter in average circulated condition is unlikely to fetch anything more than a couple of dollars. But here's where things start to get interesting. Coin collectors are often after coins that are in exceptional condition, and those from 1983 that have been preserved in mint or near-mint state are much more valuable. These are the coins that didn't get tossed around in circulation, that weren't damaged by wear and tear, and that still retain much of their original shine. The difference in price between a well-preserved 1983 quarter and a worn-out one can be significant. In some cases, an uncirculated 1983 Washington quarter could be worth a lot more than you might think. Now, let's dive into the most exciting aspect of coin collecting, the minting errors. For those unfamiliar with the world of numismatics, minting errors occur when a coin is struck incorrectly during the manufacturing process. These errors can range from subtle flaws, like misplaced lettering or uneven strikes, to more dramatic issues that drastically change the appearance of the coin. And when it comes to rare, error coins, collectors are often willing to pay a premium. The 1983 Washington quarter, while a fairly standard release, has one specific error that has intrigued collectors for years: the off-center strike. An off-center strike occurs when the die doesn't properly align with the blank planchet, the metal disc that is stamped to create the coin. As a result, part of the design can be cut off, leaving the coin with a portion of the image missing or distorted. These off-center coins are far rarer than their properly struck counterparts, and because of their unique appearance, they become highly desirable to collectors. Other minting errors that can make a 1983 Washington quarter worth more include double strikes, where the coin was struck more than once by the same die, causing some of the design elements to appear doubled. Additionally, there are die cracks that sometimes appear on the coin due to damage to the die, which can make the coin even more valuable. However, it's important to note that for a coin to reach its highest value, not only does it need to be in excellent condition, but it also has to be rare. Even with a minting error or a unique characteristic, the coin scarcity will play a large part in how much collectors are willing to pay for it. This is where things get really interesting. In the case of the 1983 Washington quarter, a rare error coin in exceptional condition can sell for far more than its typical market price. While most 1983 quarters are worth their face value, certain error coins have sold for staggering amounts at auction. In fact, one particular 1983 Washington quarter, with a rare minting error and in pristine condition, was sold for an impressive $86,000 at a coin auction. Yes, you read that right. This seemingly regular 25-cent coin, with a unique error and in perfect condition, fetched the equivalent of a small fortune. So, how does this happen? Well, the world of coin collecting can be unpredictable, but it's also incredibly rewarding for those who know what to look for. If you're lucky enough to come across a 1983 Washington quarter that has a minting error, such as the off-center strike or double strike, it's definitely worth having it professionally appraised. Coins with these types of errors, especially if they're in great condition, can end up being worth far more than you could imagine. A coin that you might have found in your change jar could turn out to be an incredibly valuable piece of history, but it's not just the errors that make the 1983 Washington quarter exciting. The coin's historical significance adds to its allure. The 1980s were a time of economic turbulence, with rising inflation and changing economic conditions. While the coins from this era may seem like everyday items, they are actually part of a pivotal period in American history. As a result, collectors and investors often seek out coins from these years, hoping to find rare examples that might one day become valuable due to their historical context. If you have a 1983 Washington quarter in your possession, it's worth taking a moment to closely examine it. Look for signs of wear and tear. If it's in great condition, it could be worth more than you expect. And if you spot any minting errors, it's time to get excited. Even small imperfections can make a coin far more valuable than its face value. You never know when you might come across a hidden gem in your coin collection. In conclusion, while the 1983 Washington quarter may appear to be just another ordinary coin at first glance, there's a world of potential value waiting to be uncovered. Whether it's a rare minting error, exceptional condition, or a combination of both, the 1983 Washington quarter can be worth much more than 25 cents. And if you happen to have one of these rare and valuable coins in your possession, you could be holding on to something worth up to $86,000. So, next time you see a 1983 quarter, take a closer look. It could be worth far more than you think. Top 5. The Washington quarter, a coin that has become a mainstay of U.S. currency, has seen many versions and variations since it first entered circulation in 1932. Among these is the 1996 Washington quarter, which might not immediately strike you as a coin of high value. After all, like many coins of the modern era, the 1996 quarter was minted in large numbers, and most of them are simply worth the standard 25 cents. But as any seasoned coin collector will tell you, there are always hidden gems among seemingly ordinary coins, and the 1996 Washington quarter is no exception. When most people think of coin collecting, they imagine rare, centuries-old treasures, gold coins from the 1800s, or silver dollars from the early 20th century. But what about a relatively recent coin, like the 1996 quarter? This particular year may seem like it wouldn't hold much value, especially when you consider that the 1996 Washington quarter was minted in massive numbers and circulated widely. However, there are certain examples of this coin that are worth far more than a mere quarter, and today we'll explore what makes the 1996 Washington quarter so intriguing to collectors, and why some of these coins can fetch amounts that might surprise you. First, let's look at the basic history of the 1996 Washington quarter. This coin was part of the ongoing series that celebrated George Washington's legacy, featuring his portrait on the obverse and an eagle on the reverse. While the design remained unchanged for many years, the 1996 quarter was part of a special initiative by the U.S. Mint known as the 50 State Quarters Program, which began in 1999. Though the 1996 quarter itself was not part of the state quarters, it still had historical significance as a coin minted in the 1990s, a decade marked by economic growth and global change. Most of the 1996 quarters were struck in the usual copper-nickel clad composition, meaning they were not made of precious metals. As a result, they don't carry any inherent value based on their metal content, unlike the silver quarters minted prior to 1965. However, just because a coin lacks silver doesn't mean it can't have value. As with any coin, factors like condition, rarity, and unique characteristics play a major role in determining its worth. And when it comes to rare coins like the 1996 Washington quarter, those factors can make all the difference. For most of us, the 1996 quarter in our pockets or change jars will likely be in circulated condition, showing wear and tear from years of use. These coins are typically worth only face value, or a little more if they happen to be in especially good condition. But there's a significant difference in value when a coin is uncirculated or in mint condition. Coins that have never been used in circulation are often highly sought after by collectors because they retain their original shine and have little to no signs of wear. If you come across a 1996 Washington quarter that's still in pristine, uncirculated condition, it could be worth several times more than the face value, especially if it's been carefully preserved or graded by a professional. But there's another reason why the 1996 Washington quarter has garnered attention from collectors: the potential for minting errors. Minting errors, which occur when something goes wrong during the production of a coin, can cause a coin to have unusual characteristics that make it stand out from the rest. These errors can vary from minor misprints to significant flaws that completely alter the appearance of the coin. In the case of the 1996 Washington quarter, one error in particular has made a significant impact on its value. An off-center strike. An off-center strike occurs when the coin is not properly aligned with the die during the minting process, resulting in a coin that has part of its design cut off. In the case of the 1996 quarter, this error has led to some rare, off-center coins that are highly sought after by collectors. These coins are incredibly rare, and when found in good condition, they can be worth far more than the average quarter. The appeal of these error coins lies in their rarity and the fact that they are a direct result of an imperfection in the minting process, which only adds to their uniqueness. Another type of error that can make a 1996 Washington quarter more valuable is the double die error. A double die occurs when a coin is struck more than once by the same die, causing the design elements, such as the date or lettering, to appear doubled or misaligned. These types of errors are rarer than you might think, and coins with clear double die errors can sell for impressive sums. If you're fortunate enough to find a 1996 quarter with a noticeable double die, you might have a valuable collectible on your hands. While most of the 1996 Washington quarters are worth just a few dollars, those with notable minting errors or in exceptional condition can fetch significantly higher prices at auction or through private sales. In fact, one 1996 Washington quarter, with an impressive error and in near-perfect condition, recently sold for a remarkable price of $72,000. That's right. While most people would think a 1996 quarter is only worth a quarter, this particular coin's unique characteristics and rarity made it worth a fortune to the right collector. So, how can you spot a valuable 1996 Washington quarter? The first step is to look for signs of rarity, such as minting errors like off-center strikes or double dies. If you come across a 1996 quarter with any noticeable flaws or errors, it's worth having it professionally appraised. Additionally, coins in excellent, uncirculated condition are also highly desirable. It's always a good idea to keep an eye out for coins that appear to have been well preserved over the years. Even if a coin doesn't have an error, if it's in pristine condition, it could still be worth more than you think. In conclusion, while the 1996 Washington quarter might seem like an ordinary coin at first glance, there are certain rare versions of this coin that can be worth far more than their face value. Whether it's a coin with a minting error like an off-center strike or double die, or simply a coin in pristine condition, the value of the 1996 quarter can reach impressive amounts. And if you're lucky enough to find one of these rare, error-struck coins, you could be holding onto a piece of history worth up to $72,000. So, the next time you come across a 1996 Washington quarter, take a closer look. You just might have a hidden treasure on your hands.